Hello, welcome again to the Wild Man Gaming and Rage Quit channel. Today we are taking a second look at the game Political Animals by Squeaky Wheel and published by Positech Games. What we want to do is take a look at how to capture districts in Political Animals, and we're gonna get started right away. For those who are watching this for the first time, Political Animals is an election campaign simulator where you have an island with different districts and you play different animals who are running for office with their staff and trying to manage a campaign. So let's go straight away. What are the things we have to do? Well, first of all, to start off, when you run a campaign, you get a map with different districts, and the objective is to campaign in those districts and to increase your candidate's popularity in each district. And the more popular your candidate is in the more greater number of districts, then you will have a greater chance of winning the election because more people will vote for you. Your reputation increases, and in each district there will be voters who already want to vote for you, and you will have some voters who will want to vote for the other candidate, but you will also have undecided voters. And your objective is you'll have to balance your resources, your campaign funds, and your logistics in order to manage how best to increase your popularity in all of those districts. So the first thing that you'll have to take a look at would be your abilities. What's a good mix? And it's not just going to be you. You will have a staff with their own abilities, and it's all about you managing the different abilities of your staff together as you proceed with your campaign. So over here, I'm taking a look at what would be good abilities for the candidate. I've selected the candidate called Mousy. For the moment, it's nice. It's got character, but for now, you can pick any animal, and you can just mix and match different abilities together. So the one I'm trying to find out is, do I want Mousy to be efficient? Mousy will have an additional logistical point. I think that's important because you can't undertake activities in districts unless you have logistical points, and maybe having an extra logistical point will be good. But you also need to take a kind of handicap, something that goes against you. So Wallflower is the one I picked because maybe the different abilities impose greater penalties. So for your traits, you get a positive, and then you also get a negative. Yeah, you have to take some kind of special negative disadvantage. Now, for the special ability, I was trying to think of what to pick. I wanted to experiment with, say, the people power ability. We saw this earlier when we were taking a look at one of the staff members called the activist. What does it do? Well, the nice thing about it is it allows you to increase your voters' reputation using logistics. Because in this game, in order to increase your popularity in a particular district, normally you would have to hold a campaign or rally. But in order to do that, you'll need money, probably to take care of the expenses of holding a rally. But if you have the people power special ability and you use it, then you can just use logistical points in order to hold a campaign and rally, make yourself popular in a particular district. So, one of the special abilities that I would recommend when playing this game is the people power special ability, and maybe efficient, but we'll talk about that some more later. So previously we used Spring Island, which looks very much like a map of Japan in some ways, and it's divided into different districts. Now each district you will pick a headquarters, and the headquarters that you pick gives you, say, some advantages or some bonuses for each district. So in the case of a bank, it says here the bonus is 50%. You get 50% bonus, meaning the salaries of your staff gets slashed in half if the banking district is captured. And then when this is your headquarters when you start out, the banking district, your headquarters district, is going to be captured. Now, one of the things I wanted to take a look at is also your platform. Okay, so with a platform, you'll notice here that the knowledge in my platform is 0, but I will have a certain number of points that I can allocate to my platform, which will be composed of 2 issues, and I will be knowledgeable or enjoy a good reputation on those 2 issues. We'll take a look at that in a bit on how to distribute that, because when you start it out, you will have a certain number of points to distribute to both of these. The thing here is you'll notice that this is going in a sequence. You pick the candidate, the abilities of the candidate, you pick the map, you pick the district headquarters, and then the platform. You will have platform knowledge of 5 points, well, total maybe, and then you'll distribute them between the different issues here. One key thing to remember here is that don't go back and then don't press the back button and then press next again, because if you do that, your platform knowledge total points will be 0. It would assume, the program would think that you've allocated that. You've got to go it in an actual sequence first, so that you don't lose those points. And that's just at the start of the game. And if you find that when you've done that, it seems like you got 0 knowledge platform points, which by the way is what happened in our last video, if you want to take a look at it. In order to avoid that, just start again and make your character. Now let's select our staff, take a look at their abilities. So for the activist, as I mentioned, it will have the ability to gain reputation using only logistics, so they have the people power ability. They also come with bonuses and disadvantages. Okay, so for instance, the activist will have a 25% bonus in rally, which means that they can call attention to certain issues and increase attention to those issues in specific districts by 25%. On the other hand, they're also not very good at giving gifts, and the advantage that you gain from giving gift is slashed by 50%. Okay, now as we mentioned before, you give gifts to different patrons in particular districts because those patrons will be helpful to you. They give you bonuses or disadvantages for the activities that you perform in the district. And one of the first tip that we have for this game is pick your abilities. Of course, the abilities that you pick will depend on your strategy, and we're exploring this particular strategy where we increase our reputation without spending too much money. So we've picked the preacher, the reporter, and the activist. We're going to use reporter just in case that there are lots of scandals for the other candidate. Later on, we'll maybe replace or change our staff members. For our platform, we've put 4 points in education. Yes, I really do think education is very important. And 3 points in health. Okay, so 4, 5, 6, 7, total 7 points. Let's increase the starting funds to make it easier for us. Okay. Oh, look at that. I didn't see that. Did you see that? I guess we got a lot of advantages because we started out with twice as much money as the other candidate. We ended up with 300,000 gold, and then the other candidate had only 150,000 gold. So I wouldn't be surprised if we win. Well, not that we wouldn't be surprised, but we had better win this campaign because it'd be such a shame if we lose where our political campaign is funded twice as much as the other party. I thought that the game would automatically balance it. If you have a starting funds of 300,000, the other party would have 300,000 as well. But it seems that it doesn't work that way. Maybe the standard starting fund is 150,000, and then you could increase or decrease your starting funds to adjust your own difficulty. So that's something that I learned. Okay, so as I said before, it's important for us to start out with our strategy to increase our reputation. When you start out, your headquarters district, it's already captured, so you enjoy 100% reputation in that district, and the patrons in that district are all in your favor. They really like you. It starts out that way. And then one of the bonuses that you get is that you slash the salary in half because it's cheaper to maintain your staff, and that's actually a big help. So we better win this game. Okay, so we could go to the power plant district. First part of the strategy, check your abilities. And if you're going to play the game, you want to spend your money wisely, then you'd want to have this people power ability. So you'd either want to have an activist, or you'd want to have your special ability be that of people power. That's one. Second, when capturing a district, one of the first things you'd want to do is to make sure that you have a good relationship with the influential patron. There are 3 patrons in the district: the wealthy patron, the influential patron, and the popular patron. The wealthy patron can help or make it harder you raise money in that district. The influential patron can make it easier or harder for you to operate in that district because it has an impact on the cost of performing actions in that district. So what you want to do first is to be on good terms with the influential patron so that you will get bonuses to your logistics activities, and it makes it easier for you to perform the activities in that particular district. So that's one. And then of course there's the popular patron. You would also like to be on good terms with the popular patron, because when you undertake rallies or any other activities to increase your popularity in that district, the popular patron can give you bonuses or can make it harder for you if you're not in good terms with them. But the first key before doing anything in the district, the first key is the influential patron. And second, after you've taken care of your relationship with the influential patron, is to start being on good terms with the popular patron. You want to be on good terms with the popular patron because when you start to hold your rallies and your campaigns inside a district, then you would want to maximize that by having the popular patron give bonuses to your campaign activities. It will have a multiplier effect, giving you bonuses, and it's better all around. Third, when you have increased your reputation, then you can also start to raise money in that district. Because the amount of money that you raise also depends on how popular you are in that district. And that way, if your popularity has already increased significantly, it would be good to have a wealthy patron on your side so that when you raise money, the wealthy patron can actually give you bonuses to how much money you can raise. So you could see, so the procedure here would be once you have those good abilities, second, to have good relationships with the patrons in the following order: the influential patron, the popular patron, and finally the wealthy patron. Okay, once you've done that, once you're able to get the influential patron on your side, then you can start to increase your relationship with the popular patron, and then you raise your popularity. Now, there are two ways to increase your popularity in a district. You can do it the standard way by holding a campaign rally, and if you do that, it's going to cost you money. Second, you can use the people power ability to hold a campaign, which means it would only cost you logistical points rather than actual money in order to increase your popularity. And the other nice thing about it is that you tend to get that from the undecided voters. Once you've increased your popularity, well, you've got to improve your relationship with the wealthy patron. So that finally, when you raise money, you'll raise more funds in that district. Rinse and repeat, because once we've gotten those funds, you can now go to other districts and start again building relationships with the patrons in that district, and then increasing your popularity and then raising more funds. Okay, so that's an interesting lesson that we learn from this game, because in this game's universe, you can win elections by starting out by giving gifts to your patrons. But the other thing, of course, is that when you are trying to increase your popularity among the voters, because I was going to say, oh, what, the issues don't matter? Issues don't matter? They do. To increase your popularity among the different voters, you'd like to hold a campaign rally based on the issues that they are concerned about. Okay, so what you want to do is compare your knowledge of the issues against the issues that they are concerned about, and you want to compare that with the opponent's knowledge of the issues, their platform, his platform. Why do you want to do that? Because there might be times when voters will be concerned about a specific issue that you and your opponent know about. If you know more about a specific issue than your opponent, then maybe it's a good idea to highlight that issue. And since you know more about that issue, maybe when you go on a campaign about that issue, voters will want to vote for you. You'll become more popular with the voters that way. But remember, if you pick an issue where your opponent is more knowledgeable in his platform, then it's entirely possible that the voters might end up voting for your opponent instead, because he knows more about that issue and that's what concerns them. So keep that in mind when you are rallying based on certain issues. So what's one way to treat that? Well, one thing that you can do regarding knowledge of the issues is just make sure that you pick an issue where you are more knowledgeable than the opponent. If your opponent is more knowledgeable on a specific issue, maybe what you can do is avoid that issue and highlight a different issue. That's my take on it. Okay, so if in a particular district there's concern about, say, religion and health issues, and your opponent is more knowledgeable, say, on religious issues, then maybe it's not such a good idea to highlight the religious issues in that particular districts, and rather conduct your rallies centering more on the health issues. Even if both of you have zero knowledge on the health issues, at least you are increasing your chances on an even playing field rather than increasing the chances or popularity of your opponent in an issue that he's more knowledgeable than you. Okay, so there. Okay, so that's where it figures in. But here's one more thing. Okay, that is with respect to campaign rallies. What about using, again, the people power ability? Well, using the people power ability, I noticed that when you use it, you don't necessarily have to pick an issue to campaign about. You just use the people power ability, and what happens is your popularity with the undecided voters will go up. You will be gaining a reputation taking from the undecided voters. So that's actually an advantage in a way, because if you don't want to address those issues where your opponent is more knowledgeable, then you want to focus maybe on using the people power ability. Rinse and repeat. Once you increase your popularity in a district, you move on to the next district. One more thing. Since you're going to increase your relationship with the patrons in a district and subsequently increase your popularity in a district, if you're able to do that, you can capture that district. And when you capture that district, it makes it harder for the opponent to perform activities in those districts. Okay. So those are the tips that we have today. We hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll talk some more. Let us know if you enjoyed this, and if you'd like to learn more about this wonderful game, please leave your comments below. And if you want to continue following our channel, please like and subscribe and tap the bell icon, and we'll keep you posted. Thank you very much, everybody. We hope you enjoyed, and enjoy the rest of your day. Keep watching. Thank you.